Dave, we are streaming, but Shane is getting an agenda real quick for himself.
Yes, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Christy.
Shane was up, but now he's sitting down. We just started the live stream.
Okay, so we call to order?
Yes, you can.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the supervisors did meet, the three of us, on July 20, plant tour down at Northeastern York County Sewer Authority and a financial and future project updates. So that was on July 27th. Is there a motion to approve or amend the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
Do I have okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. That takes us down to item 3 on the agenda, motion to amend or approve the minutes of the July 14th Board of Supervisor meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion we approve the minutes July 14th.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Same thing for the July 16th. That was our financial review meeting, and those minutes are available for approval or amending.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from July 16th as presented.
Second.
I'll second. Okay, we got a second. And any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. One more. We got the July 28th Joint Board of Supervisors and our Planning Commission met to review some various ordinances that we needed to review. That was on July 28th. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those motions are approved. That takes us down to public comments. Are there any public comments at this time?
Yes.
Yes.
We have
Okay.
Len Bradley. You might have to turn the face on, Len. There it is. Yep.
Len Bradley, 455 Hollyhock Drive. First, I want to thank everyone for their continued support of our annual block party. This year, I'm here, we have not submitted a formal application, nor we talked to the police or fire about this yet, but as a neighborhood, we've been discussing whether to request a road closure for Halloween, knowing that it's on Saturday this year, and we are very enthusiastic, and we have a lot of enthusiastic participation and a lot of out-of-neighborhood residents that come to our neighborhood to trick-or-treat. With a lot of the young kids and all the cars going down the main blocks of our street, it's pretty hectic out there with the cars going by. So, want to get your guys' read on whether or not we could, again, close the 400 block of Hollyhock during Halloween. What that would also do is to allow some of the other residents of our neighborhood who live kind of down Blaine, which is a hill and cul-de-sac that no one ever goes down, some of the other far-reaching areas to set up tables kind of in that block. Do some more trick-or-treating out there so we can well, give us a safe space, free of parking and kind of car movements during the Halloween. I assume it's going to be 6 to 8 this year again, so we probably request a half hour before or something. So just want to get a read from the board. That's something we would support before we go through the formal process.
You guys have any comments?
No, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we support it. It's been successful, no problems there.
And actually, I want to give a shout out to the fire department for coming out. You guys are always there. The fire and the police came this year, and I'll say we had a monsoon during our third annual block party here, and the officer who stayed, and he really was a trooper and really helped us clean up and in that, but didn't flee, helped us through the whole thing, and I really appreciate them staying by. It was great to be engaged by both departments as well.
I can support it.
So I don't think we're gonna have action tonight, just
Yeah,
you
just
know,
wonderful.
we're through the process.
You go through the normal
Yeah,
submission
normal
with all the
Yep.
stuff and requests, so.
Perfect. And we will probably call it Oktoberfest. It's happening, so I'm still planning on the name. So. All right, appreciate everyone's feedback.
Thank you.
Okay, that sounded pretty good to me, and thank you for that. So are we ready to move on to special requests?
Or is there any other public comment? Public?
Yeah, are there any other?
Okay. No, it doesn't look like it, Dave.
Okay, then we'll move into number 5, special requests. Are the applicants at the meeting for 430 Lynn Drive, Mount Wolf?
Yes, both are here and present. If you don't mind, can you please come up to the speakerphone here and present your case? And you'll, just like Len did, you'll click the little face with the voice picture. Yep, you're on.
Okay, so we installed a stone pad on the Torrey Pond side of our house, which is considered a side yard because it's a corner lot. We were not aware of remotely use because everything as part of that stone pad is removable. The stone, the wood, they're all removable. It is also a pervious parking pad for the trailers. We did this in order to keep both of the trailers off of the street. We have a lot of neighbors who like to park their campers on the street, which we're perfectly okay with. But we have the trailer on one side, camper on the other side, makes it difficult for traffic to go through, and it also does not give emergency apparatus a good, clear path to go through should we have an emergency in Chestnut Valley as we did this past November. So we're just kindly asking for the waivers that we can keep these stone parking pad at 430 Lynn Drive.
Kate, do you have anything to add?
So I seen the submission. I guess a couple of the things that you had in that submission was that you call it pervious. It's actually impervious because of the use that you're using the stone pad for. So it'd just be like a driveway or a parking area is still considered impervious because it compacts the stones down. And then as far as like the sidewalks, you had mentioned in there that, you know, you maintain the sidewalks. And basically that's true, but that part of the sidewalk's not built to spec as far as being able to hold the weight of a vehicle. I don't know.
What do you recommend for this case to the Board of Supervisors?
So I just recommend that the existing stone pad to be removed. An option they would have is to add to their existing driveway, do an extension on that driveway without any type of waivers or zoning hearing board. You're able to do that.
Yeah. So I guess my question is, you're saying that you're considering impervious. Well, within that house, the majority of the gardens there for flowers and shrubbery were stone. How is this any different?
Because you're using it for parking. Maybe Byron can jump in on that one.
So by
Can you turn your mic on, please? Thank you.
so by engineering definition, if you're driving back, it would become compacted. Stone, by our definition, is considered impervious stone in all ordinance. Okay, so if you're doing landscape stones like a garden or something like that, you're not driving all over it. It can stay kind of loose and things like that. I'm not familiar with what type of stone you use. I don't know if you use like a 2D.
Oh. Here, I'll put it up, Byron.
Okay. So you use like a landscape, like clean, what I call clean stone. So, okay, so it is possible, it still is possible even for a clean stone, if you're driving over it constantly, like I know you're using it for the RV parking area, that it would get more compacted, and so it would by our definition, whether it's, counts against your impervious coverage in the zoning ordinance, it also count, as impervious coverage. So we would have to look at it for stormwater management, things like that, so, if something like that, it may be, you know, like I said, I'm not familiar with, I know where you're at, but I just don't, I haven't seen that, so, but, you know, it still counts as impervious.
Okay, so to be clear, it needs to be removed because it's impervious, not because it's a second driveway?
There seems to be a lot of reasons for this one. So in particular, the ordinance does not provide or allow for someone that has less than a certain amount of road frontage to have 2 driveways. All of these ordinances are made because of safety reasons and things. That one in particular would have been made some time ago before we were even here. What happens is the zoning ordinance refers to what we call the SAUDA, which is the subdivision and land development ordinance, but it refers to the SAUDA regarding the driveways, anything related to driveways. We like to save our residents some money and say, you know what, the attorney gave us a choice. It could be a waiver, or we can make the applicant go to zoning hearing board and pay $750 for what we call a risk, because you could get denied from zoning hearing board. So we make it a waiverable item, since zoning refers to the SAUDA, which is governed by the Board of Supervisors. The other thing at play here is that the sidewalk spec for driveways is also referred to from the zoning ordinance to the SAUDA once again, but also to the construction and material specs that says that it needs to be basically a beefier, is what we'll call it, or a higher standard sidewalk. And you're right, it is your responsibility to maintain it, but once again, it's nothing personal. It's just a rule. We enforce it. We try to enforce it very fairly across the board to everybody. There are a very few amount of people in the township that have second driveways that have under the amount of required road frontage. Okay.
So with all due respect, the house right there, there's the one that I have too, is right at the corner here in front of Lake Farms. Because they have 2 stone fronts from the street here.
That was there since the test of time.
Okay.
That was not a new thing. I've been here for 12 years, 13 years now. That's always been there.
I just have to.
Yeah.
Because I drive by this.
Yours was so new. She noticed it because she's constantly in Chestnut Valley, and it was put in without a permit and everything. But had you have called us, we would have been like, hey, what we recommend is that you do an extension off your existing driveway. Not a problem. We wouldn't be here right now at all. It's not a big deal. But you have it in, so we're like, okay, you probably should come to Board of Supervisors to see if they'll give it to you. I can't promise that. They should act fairly and consistently, amongst the residents and things as well. Is there any reason why maybe you can't put a driveway extension up at your existing driveway? Maybe that's what we're missing here?
The driveway is a slope, it will have a whole term, the one that.
Do you know what the slope percent? I mean, maybe not, but okay.
You said this is, can I ask a question?
Sure.
You said this is a corner line, and.
Here, I'll
what-
show
what is
you.
your total road frontage? The one day that I was down there, she measured it.
I believe the requirement's like 600. Yeah.
But are you saying that they could have put it off the side of their driveway and alongside the garage where it flattens out? So I'm looking at the one photo, but I do see the driveway
Yeah,
is
and
fairly
the
sloped.
reason I didn't put it next to the house is because I would like to see it like an add-on. I don't know if I see it or not, I'm looking at it. If that was my thinking down the road.
There's also a sidewalk that goes up next to our house as well. That was put in fire.
Okay, I'm sorry. There's only so many allowed at one time, and the second one person turns it on, one of them randomly shuts off. So sorry about that.
There's a sidewalk next to our garage, which was put in fire
Okay.
So
So you're,
that's better as well.
oh, I see it right here.
So they're not in the back.
Okay.
Your stone that you put in comes in on that side where she's pointing
It comes in to the left of her house.
at.
Oh, here, I guess I'll put that up.
So let me ask one question, because you mentioned total impervious area. With this being considered impervious surface, does it still fit within the requirements?
Are they over or under their lot coverage percentage for the zone?
They would still be under.
But where is it taken to?
What's that?
What's allowed? 34%?
They're allowed 30%.
30%
Yeah,
is what they're allowed. Where does it take?
it'll take them up. I don't know the percentage.
Okay,
So-
well, that's an important number if you want to add on. So if you put an additional 30%, so, 10,000
So
square
what's
foot
the
lot,
subtraction
10,000
of those
square
two
feet,
here?
you do the math, right?
With their new impervious, they'd be at like 3688 square feet. The total that they can't exceed is 3956, so it leaves them after the stone pad with 268 square feet.
So that'd be the limitation if we include this.
Yeah.
280 square feet.
Can you make the stone pad smaller?
No, that's not an issue. Yeah.
They could always remove it later on and then park the trailers on the street. Point is you're trying to, one, get it off the street.
Yeah, Torrey and Lincoln are very busy roads.
And I get it, in the development, it gets very tight, and having experience recently, there was a fire in the development, if I remember correctly. Definitely changes things, and I remember the chief saying where some of the apparatus had a part. I'll just come right out and say it.
Can you turn your mic on? Thank you. I was going to tell you
I'm sorry.
sooner.
Technology I love, but this drives me absolutely crazy. That aside, so I'll just cut to the chase. As far as I'm concerned, I think it makes things look nice, makes it for a safe issue. The only driving issue for me is that sidewalk breaks, we're coming after you to fix it. And there is
Yes.
we do have recourse to make that happen. So I just want to be very clear. So from my perspective, I'm fine with it. If you go to put an addition on, you may wind up having to remove that depending on the size. I'm good. I don't know how anyone else feels. You have anything to say, or just Dave?
There's a motion, I can take comments, public comments.
I'll make a motion that we approve the waiver as requested to allow them to have a parking pass.
I'll second it. Just
Yeah, his mic is on. Dave, can you hear?
Did we lose it?
Dave, are you there?
I'm on mute. Okay. I have some discussion. I want to ask our attorney, would this behoove us to require a 6-month note in case we ever wanted that removed by our request?
I mean,
Just like a sidewalk 6-month note.
I think you could put that on as a condition for the approval. I mean, ultimately, this obviously is a little bit different than a regular plan, but it functions essentially the same way. And you guys are approving it based off of the same conditions or same, standards that you normally do for a Calvin waiver and apply conditions normally. I think that would make sense. But I'll defer to your judgment.
Okay. I had a hard time there hearing him.
Yep.
Daryl, what's your opinion, Daryl?
Okay, I have several comments on this. I went out and examined this weekend, looked around, and drove around the neighborhood and a couple other places. So there's this pad that's laid there. I don't view it as a driveway. I view it as a pad because there is some grass from the sidewalk to the pad itself or some grassy area. If they would not put that down there, if they wouldn't have this pad down, they'd be parking in the grass, causing ruts and salt, the rainy weather and stuff. There are other people who go around the neighborhoods, there are other people who park their vehicles, trailers and everything in their yard. I think this is much nicer looking, and I think the side that they chose is a lot better aesthetically than on the front facing Lynn Drive, where they had theirs on Torrey Pines to gain in this. And like I said, I don't see a driveway because of the fact that there's grass on all the way around. I have a neighbor over here that has 5 vehicles in the back of their yard. Looks like crap, but that's another matter. And in their summation, when they sent to the attention of the Board of Supervisors, they even stayed in there, if the sidewalk were to get damaged due to a vehicle backing up the trailer, it would be our responsibility to fix it. So I think they acknowledge that if there's an issue there, they will take care of it. That's my comments.
Any other comment, and then I'll call for the vote. I understand the reasoning why they need to do what they need to do, but I also see the reasoning of the township. Rules are rules. And I don't like to deviate from the norm all that much, but I don't believe in setting precedents. Each issue is its own merit. So I'm just going to call for the vote.
Well,
all in favor?
Sorry, Dave. Do we want to amend the motion to include the note that you asked for?
Oh, yes. If you would, please, Dean, amend your motion.
Do you understand what we're about to do with this note? So I want to be clear, make sure that we're going to make a motion. I'm going to make a motion. I'm going to amend it to have a 6-month note where the township can come to you and say, within the next 6 months, you have to remove that pad or whatever it is. Am I correct with that?
Is it, so I think you guys are granting the waiver, you're granting the permit. And maybe I misunderstood, I thought the note was as specifically as it pertained to the sidewalks and like improvements or I guess reconstruction. I don't know that you guys can do a 6-month that you would essentially revoke the waivers.
Then maybe I misunderstood. So what was it that you were asking for, Dave?
Well, I thought our attorney said it was okay if we had a memo of understanding with these people that 6-month note, just like a sidewalk 6-month note.
So I guess so obviously with the sidewalk 6-month note, that's like a condition that if you guys want to come in later and have them install sidewalks. So my understanding when you were referencing that was that the 6-month note would essentially be if the sidewalk was damaged, you guys would come in and require them. I mean, it would just be a formalization of sort of the procedure that you guys have to force them to fix it anyway. I do not think you guys could do a 6-month, this isn't working out, we want to revoke the waivers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So then my motion stands.
So then the motion and the second stands.
Yep. I have one more comment.
Okay.
It deals with snow plowing, and I'm out there part-time plowing snow, and I'm glad it would be off the paved surface to plow, snow plow. That's it.
So with that, I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Very good. Okay, thank you.
Is Chief Stevens in the house?
Yes.
No, he's not here at all.
Looking dapper.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good evening. Hopefully you have a couple minutes to look over my report. I don't really have anything to add, but I would make note the report from the union shows 35 calls for the month of June. If you read into that, of the 35 calls, 31 of those were in our three communities here. So the call line occurred within our community. The four other calls outside of our community were requests for fire police to assist with traffic control on accidents. But I do think that's a significant point to bring up. So it's going to be busy. I'd be glad to answer any questions anybody might have.
Just the two questions. Were the majority of things responded to around the industrial area? When it came to-
They are. The $2.6 million fire loss was the second register of Starbucks that ran up this year.
Was a ladder truck necessary for any of those?
Two, I think the ones that were just two ladder trucks. On both of those. The other one was January.
I'm sorry, what was the answer to, was the ladder truck needed?
Yes.
Twice.
Two times.
Okay.
And my last question is, that you had, as just mentioned, DCED follow-up meetings and whatnot. Is activities still progressing from the last discussion?
There's been some discussion of mutual trainings and stuff that are coming up here.
Thank you. That's all I have.
I don't have any other comments.
I was just going to ask if you did get Mount Wolf's report at all.
I did not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Daryl, did you have comments?
No, I did not.
Okay, I don't either, Chief. Thank you very much for your report. Dean, would you bring us up to date on your last meeting with the fire services update?
Sure. So I forget the date that we met, but we got together with the two fire departments, talked through some of the issues, and as you just heard Chief Stevens, one of the things that was landed on was to work on some mutual training to build the relationships up between the two fire departments. And our next meeting is sometime in September, and we'll see how things are progressing, and that takes us into our budget season. It's critically important that both Union and Eagle find a way to collaborate together and change the way they operate going forward. That's all I have to add.
Okay. Thank you. Moving on. I want to make a motion to approve the payment to Mount Wolf Borough in the amount of $17,802.84 to renew the SWIFT policy for Eagle Fire Company number 1.
I'll second.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Forgive me, real quick, who made the motion? I was still typing for
I
the
did.
last one. Okay, thank you.
Dave? Yep.
And then who seconded it?
One of the D's.
Yeah, I see that. Who was, oh, it was you, Dean. Okay. Thank you, that's all I needed.
Daryl, would you bring up any interesting tidbits about the New York County Regional Police
Yeah.
report?
Yeah, last report, we acknowledged 2 retirements from the department and also a resolution to accept, the expansion, the PD, the Oak Street main office will be expanding for much needed space, locker rooms and some other sources for $775,000. This is a RAC-P grant, and it'll be added into the budget, but it'll be a separate item. And the next meeting is on August the 19th at Oak Street. And lastly, they have a registry for individuals who police department may come in contact with and provides information for the officers to be able to identify the person, allow an officer to understand any special circumstances that may be associated with the person. And this could be for juveniles as well as adults. And York County Sheriff's Office also runs a program called Project Lifesaver. If you go on the York County Regional PD's website, you'll find links there. There's a forms tab called the Special Needs Registry. Select that, and then just fill out the form. If you have any questions, you can call down, speak to the administration, and they'll guide you through. That's my report for the police.
Thank you, Daryl. Any questions for Daryl?
Deputy Chief Rizzo is in the audience also. No
Does
questions.
Deputy Chief Rizzo have any comments?
He's going to the mic.
Okay.
Well, I just want to stop by before I head down to the Mount meeting. And since I won't be at the commission meeting this week, so I'm on vacation, I just want to see if the township had anything special for us, traffic wise or Shane has something for us. I want to stop by.
Yeah, actually, I do. We had a gentleman come in today. He lived on Board Road, right?
Yeah, yep.
He lived on Board Road. The end of Gut Road at the Wago Inn. So when you cross the bridge, you know there's a pool also cheap. I understand the vehicles and things parked there, but it seems like it's not for walking and those kinds of things. It's for partying with 20 other cars where I guess they link on and use it up to all the cars and it's real loud at night and stuff like that. So, yeah, check it out. Maybe they're doing nothing wrong, like the guy said, but it don't look good.
And I know Darryl talked about the special needs registry. I just put that out on our website recently. We've had that since we started the department. If anyone has any questions on that or anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you. Christy, can you give us any update on Northeastern New York County Emergency Management?
He went to National Night Out and had a beautiful table set up with a bunch of stuff for the kids. But otherwise, I don't have anything else to report on.
And can you describe the beautiful table, Christy?
I got a picture of it. I know I wasn't there, but I saw it. Is that what you're getting at? I had a lot of coloring books on it, and he had his logos everywhere, and they all have nice shirts with their logos on it for the EMA. And yeah, he had it sharp. They were all sharp.
Well, I got to say, National Night Out up in Orndorff was very well this year. It was very well attended. The township had a nice display with the trucks and everything, and the police and the fire departments. It was very nice, very well done. So that takes us into subdivision and land development plan. Kate, can you give us an update on the Planning Commission minutes of July 28th?
Yeah, so we had the meeting on July 28th for the Kinsley properties. They submitted for a rezoning request for the Musser Farm. They were at 4390 Board Road. The request was to provide 35.7 acres of industrial district, 31.3 acres of apartment office district, leaving 22.5 acres remaining over there on that farm as the low density residential district. The Planning Commission recommended approval of the request and asked that the map presented that they had there, the map of the different zones that they're requesting, to be followed as closely as possible. Kinsley does intend to present the rezoning proposal to the Board of Supervisors in September with a public hearing either October or November.
Okay, any questions for Kate?
No.
No.
Okay, thanks, Kate. That takes us into our solicitor's report. I believe it's Tom.
It is. It is. Yeah, sorry, the thing about sitting is I'm not sure how much detail the report will be going into, so I can, don't have anything to add beyond what's in there. I can go through and hit them, and then I know there are a few things that Andy has for resolutions and also for, also to authorize advertising for a few things as well. First of that is the per capita tax bill ordinance. We prepared that ordinance for bill per capita tax, which is effective at the beginning of next year. The board would make a motion to authorize us to advertise that ordinance for the September meeting.
Should we take care of these one at a time?
However you guys,
Yeah, I think one at a time. Right,
So-
Dave? Go ahead.
So we're going to, we need a motion to approve ordinance 2026-5.
Is that the recommendation?
Yes.
Motion to authorize advertising.
Oh, it needs advertised. Okay.
So I'll make a.
Oh, that's a motion to advertise for an ordinance for 2026-5. Correct?
Yes.
I made that motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Discussion on the motion. So what discussion, so we have to advertise it and then vote on it in September?
Correct.
Okay. I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries unanimously. Christie, can you help Tom out with resolution 2026-10, the employee handbook?
Yes, sir. I believe we would like to just make a couple of minor adjustments to another policy that Jen and I already started working on, and then we'll email those red line comments to you, if that's okay.
Sure. Do that.
Okay, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay, so that we're done with the employee handbook updates, then, correct?
Correct. So the next thing would be the fire company fees ordinance. I think that we're looking for direction on a few things about how the township wants us to go in drafting that ordinance, final version of that, and then if we can get that, a motion to authorize us to advertise the ordinance in September meeting, where we then have a final ordinance incorporating that.
I hope I don't step over on Tom. I'm having a hard time hearing Tom, but I think at this time I want to ask the board members how they feel about allowing a collected fee in excess of the insurance payments. So what's the thinking, board members?
Excuse me, I have some questions. I've read over it and I don't know if I'm missing it, but basic question number one is, if both fire departments respond to the same incident, are the costs shared or each fire company bills for their services? And secondly, along the same line, if there's a mutual aid department comes in like Stridestown, Brookhaven, Newberry, whatever, do they also, then when they assist with the fire, do they also bill? So I couldn't find the answers to those questions. Chief
Does
Stevens.
Chief Stevens have any input?
Chief Stevens going to speak.
So my understanding is that, yes, each individual responding agency can do their own billing. How many of those in the locale do billing? But yes, each one does. And to be clear, we're not billing for service, but we recouping expenses only. So perishables, supplies, those types of things. Oil dry, hazmat fumes, pads, things like that. There's cost for use of things like fire hoses, hours,
Fuel.
Cost recovery is what you're going.
right. We're just recouping what we spent.
Okay, if you could just give an example, like an accident scene and maybe a shed fire. Just
So,
Reader's Digest version.
yeah, well, and it depends on what's approved. I provided sample ordinances and sample fee schedules, which are pretty common across the Commonwealth, not just locally, but across the entire state. So, you know, a shed fire might be like $500 or so. A vehicle accident could be $200, $300, depending on what are we just there directing traffic, provide first aid for injured people, you know, through some oil drive, that kind of thing, versus big traffic in the car.
Okay. And then like if you had more equipment there, like,
What actions we have.
you know, like if you had a rescue there, then you had to cut, that would increase the cost. Yep, okay, thank you.
There's one provision about, and there's an alternate in here, which was, you know, if it, let's see, it's, sorry, I'm just trying to read my note. It says in here that emergency service provider authorization shall only have the authority to recover the aforementioned costs from the applicable insurance company or carrier up to the limit that the insurance company does, which I kind of like that from a homeowner standpoint, even a business standpoint from that, because it obviously protects them financially, right? But then the question that popped in my head is, well, what if the property isn't covered by insurance? Or it's deemed to be arson. Now, obviously, if it's arson, then that brings in a whole other legal aspect to it.
Right, so I believe the way it's set up is, we get the information, the billing company takes care of it from there. They submit the bill to the insurance company, and we take whatever the insurance company pays.
Much like for health benefits, you go to your doctor.
I'll use you as an example.
Sure.
We come to your house for an emergency, we bill your insurance company is billed, and let's say the bill is $700, and insurance paid $500. That's what we pay. Maybe your insurance company says, yeah, we got money for it. Okay. We're no different than what we're doing today, right?
Right.
I'm not gonna turn around and say, you a personal bill, saying, now you're responsible for this. That's not how it operates. It's all for insurance and you as a homeowner. Any of us sitting in the room right now as a homeowner, you're paying money to your insurance for the fire department.
Sure.
They just don't release it unless it's requested.
Correct.
This is on request.
And I guess the only risk is if the property is not covered, whether it's a vehicle or a house, you have that risk, but
Right, but we do it now.
But at least this way, it gives you a mechanism for those folks that do have coverage
Correct.
to work within whatever constraints they have, which I kind of like, and not, when I think about someone's house burning to where they can't get back in it, and then they're dealing with that, and then on comes some additional debt. So, kind of like, if I reading this alternate section for that.
I don't believe so. Things that may accident may also not.
No, it's fine. I'm just kind of throwing that out. I do like just limiting it to what the insurance carrier will provide.
Right. Whatever we collect, we collect. And if the insurance doesn't pay, then it's no different than how we operate.
Okay.
So just to be clear, you would not be collecting in excess then?
Say that again.
You wouldn't be collecting in excess of what is paid by the insurance, just to be clear. Okay, thank you.
I have a question for our solicitor. Under the 92-6 billing, and if you go down to section F, it says the township shall not be responsible for any aspect of the billing, collection, enforcement, or recovery of any costs under Article 1, shall not take any steps to assist any fire company, emergency service provider, or authorized agent in the recovery of such costs, except to the extent required by law or separately authorized by formal actions of the board that does not create township financial responsibility for such revenues. Is the township, can the township be drug into any civil action because we adopted this?
think the idea with that would be no. I mean, could the township be, it's kind of, the answer, could the township, in theory, could someone try to drag you in? Yeah, the town, anyone could try to drag you into anything, but this would be in limiting the liability for if something like that were to actually happen. It's not something the township's not collecting, they're hands off, so, I mean, could the township be dragged in? Yeah, always someone want to sue, but it would be,
Okay.
would be successful.
Thank you.
Okay, well then, it's acknowledged that the chief and our manager will get together and work on that fee schedule. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, down to 8.4,
Well, I'm sorry,
Company and Fire Chief.
sorry, Dave, if I may. In that one section, which is on page 5 and 92-4, letter C, is where that alternate provision is at, that limits the liability to what the insurance carrier would, remit back to the billing entity. I prefer that. I don't know how you, Dara, feels. And that needs to be decided as well, right?
I'd have to defer to the
Yeah.
attorney, yes.
That would be another thing that we'd be looking for clarity on for how you guys want to handle that.
So did we come up to some conclusion there, Dean?
Yeah, I'd like the alternate, because it limits the property owner's liability.
Okay, so Darrell,
Yes,
you like that as well?
yes.
Okay. Well, then we'll move in that direction.
Thank you.
Okay, 8.4, the fire company and fire chief ordinance.
Well, sorry.
Due to our,
Sorry to interrupt. If you guys, if we're assuming Christie and the fire chief are gonna get together about the fees, and assuming we make the changes, do you guys want to, make a motion to authorize us to advertise the ordinance for the September meeting? Or do you wanna wait and see where those things come out?
I guess, do you guys want to look at those fees or, obviously Chief Stevens and I are going to look at, how we need to assess the fees per the law and per what his items are costing to recoup said
But
supplies.
every year we'd be locking in on those fees, much like we do at the beginning of every year. Right?
Those would be subject again when we go to do reorganization, yeah. But with this ordinance, this fee schedule would need to get passed with it.
So if we advertise, we have to advertise with the fee schedule that they come up with, and we won't be able to change it when we put that on. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that would be accurate. So wherever they came out, we would incorporate that. So, if you guys want to delay it until you get a chance to see it, I think that's
I think
fine.
we should delay so we can see the fees and make sure we're comfortable.
Sure.
I mean,
I would prefer to see everything in a nice little neat little bow before we vote on it.
Sure.
Yep.
Okay.
The last item here is the fire company fire chief ordinance. So town set fees, fire company servicing town flat. This is also considered designating fire company by ordinance. The ordinance would also formally create a position of township fire chief and assistant fire chief to make it somewhat akin to create a working fire chief. David, Amy, I believe, is attached and provided several ordinances with very detail. You guys and staff should review those, get a direction on what to prepare an ordinance for further consideration. I don't know if that's something that has happened, or, again, it's another thing that doesn't have to be addressed tonight, but I guess to be on the radar.
I don't know about you guys, but and my recommendation would be to table this until the fire service collaboration has progressed further.
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to table this due to the ongoing discussions with the two departments. That's my motion.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Tom, I think that's it, right?
I just have one other comment, if he could pass on Andy, try to have the information, but just want to know if there's any updates on the old ambulance 23 funds.
The what one?
When the ambulance 23 went out and Wellspan came in, there was some funds left over and there was going to be some distribution.
From just, yeah, they dissolved. And we signed documents and everything. It was at the end, but yeah, you're right. We haven't heard anything about that. I mean, it was a very small amount of money, but
Sure. And, if he has some of these.
Oh, Chief Stevens has a comment.
So that you're aware, last month, not last night, a month ago, Manchester Borough finally took action, and in that whole course of that whole process, everybody had to agree before they could do anything. So Manchester Borough just took action and approved it last month ago. So I would think they would last.
Wheels turning slowly.
wow.
So I would hope you would see something for this.
I remember reading that in the minutes. I forgot. Thank you.
They kept delaying, they kept tabling that there.
Yeah.
Wanting more information, and it's like, it's a different organization. There's no information to be had.
Thank you for that.
We ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay, Byron, engineers report.
All right, first item is the PRP plan initiation. So like 2 weeks ago, I met with Kinsley's on the stormwater basin issue. They brought up about that we want to work with them on PRP to retrofit their one basin, which is approved in our PRP plan. So I mentioned it to Christie, so I will be starting just no design work, but just a quick conversation with Kinsley's first year to agree to or come up with some ideas how we're going to retrofit, if they're going to participate in retrofitting the basin, it would help them in the long run as far as maintenance of that basin. So they're in favor of this, but just wanted to include it in tonight's discussion just to say that I'm just getting ready to start with that. We've had some minor conversations with Kinsley's, and I actually talked with Mike Jeffers yesterday about it, and they're all for this. So it's just, we're right at the beginning part of this. So, as part of the that's all part of our favorite thing, MS4. We did get, I guess, towards the middle or the end of last week, DEP's coming in to do our audit of our MS4 program. It is August 27th. We'll be here on site. Could run into August 28th if they need time. I'm available. It's blocked out my schedule to be here. I think Shane is here. That's if any of the township supervisors want to come along, great. But by the end of this week, I have to have them. They, for the first time, they asked for copies of our. They gave me a list of what they wanted, which we have everything. But they wanted a scanned image of everything. Which a lot of that, a lot of that information is never scanned because they've always said they didn't want it scanned; they wanted it just hard copy. So I will scan some of that information in what I didn't have, and they want it prior to them showing up. And I will be Shane here next week or Wednesday before, something like that. We're going to do a walkthrough of the yards and things that they look at. Make sure everybody knows where the MS4 signs are, what MS4 stands for. Just walk around, see if I see anything here in the building. So we'll do that one day as quick as we can. But again, it's just our every 3 to 4 years they come in and do our inspection. They have to come inspect us once every 5 years. They typically run once every 3 or 4 years. We've never had any major issues. The only issue one year, we had a drum sitting over here that didn't have a label on it, so that's been, I know that's been taken care of. So it's minor issues that they always try to find something, but, never had any issues with this. Just give them a heads up, that's when it is. 9.2 on my list is Sherman Street, if you see on the list, the work is to begin August 17th, according to PennDOT, so that's finally getting done.
It's a miracle.
3 or 4 years. So I will kind of at least drive by and see what, I'm curious when they do their crossing, you know, if they find anything in their water line, I'm sure they'll call me if they get something. And then, 9.3, Willow Springs cul-de-sac, Shane did give me dates, suggested dates, so I'm working on my HOP resubmittal with the dates in there, and that could be, I'm gonna submit it as more equal, that way, if we wanna change it and we can permit. PennDOT's looking more for where the location of the gates are going to go, not what type of gates. So that's before next meeting, that will be submitted, I'll have approval, but it will be submitted back to PennDOT. Espresso Way, we did get from Kinsley's a red line requested revisions to our temporary construction easement. I did forward those to Andy, and they're in his office to make sure they're fine and update that and then get it signed. That's the last thing.
So I have a question on the Espresso Way. That's currently signed for 25 now. See, we were just talking about this previously. No one drives 25 on that road. It's an industrial park. I don't know why we don't take it to 35, but I realize is that a PennDOT road or is that a township?
No, it's a township.
But we still got to get through PennDOT to raise the speed limit?
No, we can raise the speed limit. Which road?
Expressway Way.
Okay, I was gonna say.
25, and I've gone down it a few times, and the moment we cut that cul-de-sac off, which that's 35 miles an hour, and no one's traveling 25. So either we asked our police department to enforce it a bit more, or we change it to something more reasonable. To me, it's an industrial park. I don't see why 35 would be inappropriate, but I don't know what I don't know. Just
I will tell you, turning from Bartlett to Expresso on a perfectly normal day, they had rolled 2 or 3 tractor trailers in the middle of it. How, I don't know. I mean, speed's involved.
right, but they got to be doing more than
25.
Right.
Yeah.
So, even if I may.
Yeah, please.
I prefer that you leave it at 25, because if they're speeding, if it's posted at 25, let's say we're going 40, if you post it up to 35, they're not going to be going 50.
No, and that's a fair point, and that's why I'm asking the question. And I think part of it is you've answered is you've seen trucks roll. Okay, that's a safety concern.
Yeah.
Then my only comment is, once we shut that down, we should, work with the police department to really get some enforcement there to really tighten it up, because.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. When them big businesses let out for lunch and those kinds of things.
Yep, it's a free for all.
People are trying to make it to Manchester Borough, and they're flying.
Yeah, and they're gonna start running that light more once you put them, because now they go down to the end and, of Willow Spring, and they play Russian roulette with, can I jump in front of the car?
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So enforcement.
no, and I appreciate the feedback, it's just safety's a big issue, and I get that, so thanks for that. And I just say that once we shut it down, we should talk to, police department and just have them do a little more enforcement, because it's gonna change.
You are talking about Willow Springs, right? Because I think I got confused
Yeah,
between
I'm
Willow
talking
and
Willow
Espresso.
Springs, but I was my comments started with Espresso.
Okay.
Because it was signed for 25, and
Okay.
didn't understand why.
Gotcha.
That's been addressed.
Thank
And I
you.
agree with that.
Very good. I just want to clarify for the minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all I had in my report, unless you have any other questions.
None for me.
And, okay, thank you, Byron. Shane, you're up.
Did he say Shane?
Yep.
Okay. Any questions on my report, gentlemen?
None for me.
No,
The next thing
No.
I had, sorry, someone say something.
No, you're good.
The next thing I have then is, my bids for the paving of Willow Springs this year. The reason they are so late this year is we were waiting on the grant that Byron was getting us, which he received $300,000 for from this grant, which is to help pay for some of those bids. So I had two bids this year. I had Kingsley and Stewart and Tate bid this. Stewart and Tate came in at $498,500, and Kingsley came in at $447,200. And I'm asking for the approval for the Kingsley bid.
I'll make a motion to approve the Kingsley bid for $447,200.
I'll second it.
I'll second the. Okay, we have a motion and a second to award Kinsley Construction the bid for Willow Springs. I'll call for the vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I have one comment on that. I'd like to thank all the people who are involved in securing that grant. Well done.
Thank you, gentlemen. I only have one more comment to make. I've been speaking with a gentleman who is, I don't know if he's a member or if he runs it, if he's a member of the Northeast York County Historic Society, which I believe is located in the York Haven Library. On October 3rd, they are dedicating a PA State historical marker for the Conewaga Canal. There will be state, local officials, and historians coming. The Amesville Band and reenactors vendors, and around 200 people will be there. He's asking if the board wants to attend, anybody in the public, just put it out there. Parking will be at the Bruner Island Soccer Field parking area, so they will be taking them in from there. I don't know if anybody knows where the library is in North Haven. There is no parking absolutely at all. So just putting that out there for anybody that would like to attend that.
Can I have what you just read from so I can put it in the minutes? Thank you.
That's all I have, gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll check. I would like to attend. I think, whoever else could would be great. I'll check my calendar and I'll get back with you, Shane.
He informed me for next year's date, I believe it's going to be on East Manchester Township. Or at least the aspect of the history part of it is going to be for our township. I believe it's out there. So that might be nice for next year too.
Okay.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, Shane. Manager's report, Northeast New York County Sewer Authority, Christie.
As you had mentioned at the beginning of the meeting, the board had gotten together for a tour of the sewer authority plant to understand all of the issues that they need to overcome, and how much maybe money would go into fixing or repairing or maintaining all of those items. And then they were present for a short presentation by the sewer authority engineer for informational purposes only. But that was just in regards to their projection of the next 5 to 10 years and what that could look like financially when just a real basic quote really of what they are proposing in the future. There is going to be an intermunicipal agreement meeting on August 27th that will be public at the Northeastern York County Sewer Authority meeting room on Main Street from 5 to 6 p.m. Where the intermunicipal agreement will be discussed with the two boroughs the sewer authority and us. The sewer authority is in charge of creating the agenda, taking the minutes, and they already advertised it as well. As soon as we get the agenda, I'll post it on our website too. Otherwise, that is all I have for the sewer authority.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought the sewer meeting was August 24th. Did you say it's the 27th?
Let me pull up that email real quick and verify. Oh my gosh, Dave, you're right. It's the 24th. Good catch. Good catch.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Moving on to Kate, 11.2.1.
At 5, yeah.
All right, so we don't have any zoning hearing board or planning commission meetings for the month of August. I don't have anything else to say at this time, but does the board have any questions for the zoning or the codes officers reports?
None for me.
I have a suggestion. I don't have any questions. I think I would suggest that the future language where it says the MDJ was in favor of the township, I think we should change that to the MDJ ruled in favor of the township, because it sounds better because of an official ruling, not that he likes the township or something.
Right, okay.
So make it his decision that he ruled in favor of the township.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Sounds good. Recreation Board, Christie, any new?
They did provide May and August minutes. They weren't able to meet for 2 months. They had vacations and things. Basically, they recently met and they were discussing, what they'd like to see for the future. 2 of them attended National Night Out. And from that, they'd like to have things like brochures to hand out to people, maybe like labeled handouts, like flashlights, or I think Phil Woods made the suggestion of discs for disc golf and a tablecloth, maybe a labeled tablecloth for future events. And then they want to try to get more volunteers and ideas for the events. Laura did really try. I was told that she didn't get anybody on that list. And so the next thing here was that board was discussing maybe looking at indoor space to host aerobic classes for the residents, or to maybe utilize the soccer fields at PPL for when it's good weather. And but of course not in substitute for the soccer games or anything. We're trying to come up with more ideas to get the community involved with East Manchester Township activities and stuff. So otherwise, that was pretty much the gist of it. They seem very determined and motivated, but I think they're just a little slow to get going is all, but they're getting there.
Okay. Any questions for Christie?
No, just a reminder to the public, again, look on our website. There's a link there to go to Spring Park and Rec for activities we can be involved in.
Yes, that's a good point. We now have access to all of Spring Berry's recreation events with special codes. There's 2 certain codes. There's one code for all the events, and then there's another code that's just for, I think it was the pavilions, Daryl, right? I think it was the pavilions that was separate. So that's great. That's a big hoop because it started as just for bus trips, and they so graciously expanded the rest of it to us.
So,
that's all I have.
Thank you, Annette.
Yep.
Moving on to, we did receive York County Commissioner's response letter to the countywide regional efforts. We all received that letter, and I notified Christie today. I'm in line next year to be the chairman of the York County Police Board. So I'm going to volunteer to sit on whatever they need done for this homeless regional effort. So I'm going to throw my name in the hat and ring there. Correspondence, any correspondence, Christie, other than that?
Now,
Okay, are there any public comments at this time?
I see none.
Okay, I make a motion we approval and pay all bills.
I'll second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Supervisors' comments. Who wants to go first? Dean?
Sure. Got a little notice from Representative Dorsey that Veterans Appreciation Breakfast on November 6th from 8 to 10 at the Royal Manchester Golf Links. So, any veterans, go there. That's all I have.
it was a breakfast, you
Okay.
said?
Yep, breakfast from 8 to 10, November 6th, Friday, at Royal Manchester Golf Links.
Good time. Thank you. Is that
Well, you have to
a
RSVP.
register? Yeah.
Yeah, you got an RSVP by October 26th, and you can go to his website.
SVP. Okay. Thank you.
Darrell?
Okay, attended the York County Association of Township of Second Class Supervisors meeting a week or so ago with Christie. And on National Night Out, I wanted to commend the fire companies. Station 22, Eagle had, they were grilling food, burgers and hot dogs for the people, and they had 2 nice water slides for the kids to use. Station 23, Union, they had a very good display with what I call the game of Price is Right. They had people try and match the printed prices they had to the equipment, and I did well. Joyce, yes, Joyce challenged me to do that. And then the EMA and the police departments, they had good displays and I thought it was well attended. And of course the township was there and Manchester Borough was there. Not Wolfboro, I kind of chastised them. They didn't realize they could bring equipment there, but I think they'll be there next year. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Darrell. The only thing I have is I'll make an announcement again for upcoming meetings in September. York County Regional Police meeting is Wednesday, August 19th, 6 o'clock down at Oak Street. Northeastern York County Sewer is Monday, August 24th. I imagine the time is 6 o'clock, Christie?
It's 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock for the Sewer Authority. And the EMT Recreation Board meeting is Wednesday, September 2nd, and that 6 o'clock, Christine?
Which one's that, Dave?
The Rec Board.
Oh, the rec board meeting, first Wednesday of the month.
Yeah, that's September 2nd.
Yep,
And they,
2nd.
They meet at 6.
At 6, yes. Very good.
Okay. Because I'm planning on being there. I've been asked to bring up the idea of way back when they had stay-at-home celebration, the old-time days, all that stuff. The Alliance Club, the police department, the school district wants to bring those back. So I want to sit with the rec board to see their intention, what they would want to do, if anything. So I'm going to try and attend that meeting. Tom, do we need executive session tonight?
I'm not aware of anything.
Okay.
I don't
Does
believe
any of
so.
the board members or staff need executive?
No.
It's up to you guys.
No.
Then I'll make a motion we adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.